very good afternoon to everyone. Thanks for joining us this afternoon. I'm going to run, next 20 minutes about how the success factors is really going to be helpful for you as a tool in terms of, making your business run smooth, and then how it is really an effective tool. So, in continuation to what Raghu was talking about, the kind of concepts that are running around, the HR challenges, especially the new generations that are really getting the workforce getting into the business side. So the HR, there's a lot of rethinking happening on the HR perspectives. So every organization currently in a growing mode, they want to actually start up their new divisions and beyond the borders. So what is happening typically, a kind of what kind of challenges typically the HR is facing is they're running around to identify the right kind of talent. It's not just the identifying of the right talent, but even they're also facing the typical challenge of how to engage the new dimensional workforce, especially the new YGen kind of a workforce that is getting into the organization, and how to manage their expectations, how to make them more productive, and then engage within the organization. So this is another typical challenge. And apart from this, the other challenge is how to really, comply your regulations when you are actually having, business growth. So you have to really be comply with the regulations of a specific location or a country where you are going to have your division. So some of these challenges are really, related to a kind of, from a HR standpoint, when you really have a right kind of a system in place, how the system is really going to help you to meet those challenges and then effectively, per se. And success factors is, we call an effective HR tool. So how this is really an effective HR tool? So the business, see, look at when you're expanding the business, and when you want your entire stakeholders to be interactive and then should be engaged, and then after all this engagement is required for making your business strategies into a business outcomes. So there is something that a kind of an effective tool, need of an effective tool to make your business strategies as a kind of achievable goals, and then distribute those goals so that each of the employee can actually understand their goals, and then they can actually target their goals, and they can execute those goals. And then you need a system that really help you to do this particular task. So success factor is having a very effective HR metric kind of a PM, we call it goal management and performance management components. So these are the two components that really going to be helpful for making the entire business strategies, breaking in different goals, achievable goals, and then distribute that into the different the roles of the organization, and then as per the specific need of that particular role, the visibility can be given and the permission can be managed. So overall, that is what actually integrate and engage the whole rules in the organization to achieve the larger business outcomes. And then what actually success factors can bring to the table, what it has. The success factor has got the core modules, and then the success factor has got the talent modules. It's a combination of both the core components of HR and then the talent components of the HR. So what actually core components has got is it's called Employee Central, which is really a backbone of the success factor application, which manages the entire demographic and personal information and a lot more information and insight of an employee record. And then there are a lot of best practices that are already built into this, and then there are already a pre-built content available in this particular component. It's not only in this component, in fact, it is available across all the components of success factor. For example, when I say that, what kind of preload content, for example, you take a recruitment aspect, there are job families and available. So job families will consist of the different job descriptions. So it is pretty easy for somebody to pick up those job descriptions and add out to a specific, consolidate that and then mention that this particular position is going to have these kind of responsibilities and this is the job description of that particular position. So at the same time, if you look at the goal perspectives, there is a goal library it's called, and then there is a goal wizard which is available. So the goal library has consists of more than 4,000 plus preloaded content kind of goals. So it is pretty easy for a user when the user goes there and then pick up as per the goals and then adopt those goals into the template. So it's all similarly the performance management, compensation, and the important aspect of success factor is also is about learning and then collaboration. The collaboration is pretty excellent in terms of the internal organization perspective, or even if you want to extend this collaboration to the outside of the organization, that's where the recruitment marketing, which brings out a kind of a branding possibility for organization to really attract the talent pool outside and by advertising and talking the kind of benefits that they are going to offer to the right kind of talent. So what it is doing is it is really going to open up a new window and then make organization the HR to talk with the talent pool across the globe. So this is really a kind of window that gets open. And then similarly, within the organization, there's something called the JAM portal, which is a collaborative kind of a tool, and that helps a kind of all the internal employees to collaborate, and then they can post their video, they can share their presentations group-wise, and what it is really doing is it is really collaborating the entire workforce and then reducing the timelines to on any specific aspect that they are really going to work on. So that, especially if you look at taking an example of employees who are getting onboarding in the organization. So typically they can just log in and then go into the JAM portal and look at the induction videos, and then they can look at the complete information about the organization policies, and that is the kind of orientation that they can get out of this particular tool before they actually start their day in the organization. So so there are additional tools also how these these kind of tools will be enabled. That's what we will look at in the going forward. And SuccessFactor is a complete HR system record. And then this is the important thing is it's the device independent. The device independent, it can be pretty easily accessible with a browser, and then you can access it on a desktop, you can access it on a mobile, you can access it on a tablet, and then it supports all kinds of operating systems, in terms of iOS or Android or BlackBerry, any kind of thing. So what you see here is a typical the screen grabs of those the kind of devices. So this is designed in such a way that the UI part really encourages the users to really start using it and adopt it. So what the key value here is the user adaptability. See, most of the organizations, why they actually fail any of the application level is that they're not able to attract the user community, or not because the users don't like to get into that and start using it. So a huge kind of learning that they have to take it up when they want to really look into their specific application and start using it. But that's where they go back on adapting the system. But when you look at the success factors, it's almost like these kind of a social tool similar to a Facebook or LinkedIn. It is so easy. You just need a browser, and then you can start using it with the right kind of username and password. That's it. That's all it takes. And then this is truly global in terms of this is being used beyond 177 countries, and then it has got more than 37 languages it supports. So let me tell you one of the implementation we did recently on one of the Singapore-based customer, where we have rolled out the solution within 3 months for more than 13 countries. And then it has got the language specifics also, including the Middle East. And then it has got the both globalization and localization aspects. So it is something that you can use it across the your workforce spread across the globe, and then specific to a location. It could be a Middle East, or it could be Singapore, or it is Southeast Asia. or it could be Asia Pacific, or whatever the locations your organization has, and a specific country that your business entity operates from. You can have those localizations also quickly enabled. You don't need to really build those things; they're all available. You can just go and add those localizations also. So that is how it is pretty global as well as local. And then this is something I already spoke about, the kind of pre-delivered HCM content. So it has got more than 90,000 plus HR content elements. If you look at the whole gamut of HCM, HR, perspective. So right from the recruitment to the employee exit. So everywhere you need, you get a preloaded HR content, the industry-specific job descriptions, or it could be assessment writing, or both catalog or compensation benchmark. These are the things that it brings as a value add. So what it means for you is, in terms of when you implement this particular tool, by default, these are all available for you so that you don't have to develop any specific content, and it is pretty easy for you to, probably extract that and then start using it whatever the way that is applicable for your business. So the success factor is actually a very well kind of a cloud solution that has got excellently built with the proper protection at every layer. If you look at that, there's a protection at site level, there's the protection at database level. So it has taken measures to ensure the the kind of robustness in every layer. And then SuccessFactors, in fact, is a very, very active contributor to the cloud security standards. They are actually, that is the automation. It's been setting the standards. And in fact, SuccessFactors last 15 years had never had an issue of the kind of protection issues, especially in the security standpoint, being a cloud solution. And then this is pretty easy for deployment in terms of it's typically if you look at compare with any ERP or any other application, and then look at SuccessFactors. So the timelines is pretty simple. It can be deployable in weeks of time because it is up and ready. And then what you need to do is we just need to take your typical business requirements and translate them to a specific workbooks and then start deploying it. And then the other advantage what SuccessFactors is having is it doesn't have any prerequisite sort of thing. What I mean to say is that your business, based on your business plans, you can just go ahead and then actually enable a specific component. For example, right now your immediate business need is that you want to enable the learning. So you can just go ahead and then enable the learning. And then later point of time you want to go for a recruitment, or you want to go for a PMGM, performance management. Yes, that's how you can drive it. So you can actually start anywhere. It is very, very flexible, and then easy to deploy. And then the solution migration is also pretty easy when you actually look at, it can be integrated with any kind of on-site application that you might already have it, or any kind of third-party solutions, or it could be any third-party solution on the cloud also that you might already have it. If you want to establish a connectivity with SuccessFactors, that is pretty easy kind of thing. And what SAP offers as a deployment is that, especially these deployments are pretty kind of applicable or probably interesting for those kind of customers who are already running on SAP on-premises. For example, what it offers is it offers full on-premises and then full on-cloud and then hybrid model. And this is where actually an existing SAP customers, they can really leverage it. They can think of moving some of the key talent management solutions onto the cloud while having their post-HR solutions being on-premises, especially the payroll perspectives or time and attendance, those kind of data. If the companies are really don't want to expose them onto the cloud, so they can have it on the premises, and then they can go for a talent management solutions like performance management, and then learning, and then recruiting, and then workforce planning. So those kind of components they can actually quickly enable on the cloud. And by default, SAP is already providing add-ons for this particular, in the particular model. So what it means for you is if you have on-premises code on-premises, and then you go for a cloud talent management, the data can be integrated pretty easily with those with the help of readily available add-ons. And then this is an extension to what I mentioned. There are various ways of integrating the success factor with your on-premises. At a data level, it can have the integration. At a process level, it can have an integration, bidirectional interface, in fact. And then the user experience is going to be, pretty easy. Including the when you have a core solution, be remaining on the on-premises, and then when you go for a talent management on cloud. So that is where you can really leverage a lot of benefit, and then users can start using it from anywhere, and then with the proper data coming up, and then with the proper integration. And typically, this is how we are getting into a kind of a view. Some of the slides that how a success factor screens looks like. And this is the screen of an employee where an employee is trying to use his self-services. So you can see that the information over here in the slide deck on the left part of it, there is a title of the particular employee, and then the contact details and the mail IDs, and then the kind of local time. In fact, in case the employees are spread across the geography, so you need to know like what kind of local time it is over there. And then it also talks about, gives the employee to describe his interest in a profile. It's called public profile. And then the employee can really go through all these things, and then they can actually easily do their, HR transactions. And this is a typical look and feel again on the organizational chart perspective, very highly intuitive. And then you see the graphical perspectives with the pictures, and then what you see here is the arrow is the moment you click it on it takes the upper part of the reporting structure, and then you can see the kind of report is of a color grant, and then you can see over here a provision for add a new employee. It is pretty easy that on the screen without moving from screen to screen or transaction to transaction, you are able to use the system in a single screen. That's how you can actually move on. That's the and then this is the typical time of process, the look and feel of how easily an employee can actually look at the leave balances, and then go and then pick up a specific leave type when they're when she or he is trying to apply. And then the goal template look and feel. If you see here, this is really where you will be able to see that there's a goal wizard, there's a create new goal, and then the employees or the concerned employee is able to really look at the goals, and then really know that whether it is on track or behind. This is very highly intuitive, and then it's pretty easy for anybody to manage their goals, and then cascade their goals upwards or downwards and all. And then here is the performance process screen. This is the look and feel. And then the other important thing is the dashboard and reporting. SuccessFactors has got a lot of inbuilt dashboards, component-wise. So you can have the multi-dimensional dashboards, and then you can have a number of standard reports that are available. And apart from that, there's the ad hoc reporting, which is possible and pretty easy for you to make your own reports and then start using those reports. And with that, that's a very, very high-level kind of overview of how this particular HR tool will be effectively help you. And then, in terms of deploying it, this is pretty easily deployable and in a shorter duration, being a cloud solution. And the implementation team is also going to be very lean. It's not a heavy teams that you need when you implement this, unlike any ERP sort of thing. And coming to our YASH technologies, we are about 3,500 employee company established in 1996, and then we have worldwide offices, and then more than 300 plus mid-market size and large enterprise customers. And then we have presence more than across all geographies. In fact, 27 offices we have across the globe, and we have majorly our development centers located in India. In fact, that's why you see a lot of pointers around there. And what do we offer? What kind of capabilities with regard to HCM that we bring? We offer, and then what we have. Close to 100 plus, 120 plus HCM and SuccessFactors consultant, and most of them are certified consultants with strong domain experience and then functional experience of HR. And then we have been contributing partner in SAP HCM. A lot of the solutions that are the kind of development that takes place in SAP labs. Our team is also part of doing those activities. And coming to there are a couple of questions I have. I think I will just answer that soon after I close this. This is the particular client list. It's a partial list, in fact. We have customers like Westinghouse. We have customers right across the globe, and majorly in US and then India and then Middle East. And then this is how our customer partial list looks like. And then we have very good success stories, especially on SuccessFactors, especially Perkin Elmer, and then some of the names, Almarai, where we are actually doing, in fact, delivered a complete SuccessFactors end-to-end solutions, and also currently we are doing some of the places we are doing the performance management and compensation and learning, those kind of components. So in a nutshell, the SuccessFactors is a hybrid solution that is very effective and then well received in the SAP install-based customer